what is your business and who do you serve? How do you serve them? And how does the podcast like specifically support that? In what way is the podcast growing that business or whatever it's doing for you?
There's actually two facets to how the podcast serves me. My company I do software consulting. I do business consulting. I go out to primarily small companies, small to mid-sized companies that by numbers and also financially that are growing and help them leverage technology to do their business better. Now, part of doing that is scaling out the technical side. So I also have people that I'm essentially mentoring, employees / mentees that I'm building up so that they can help take on, the work as we grow. And so that's where the two prongs are. Is one, it works for customers, and it's really more specifically like managers and not like C-level decision makers, but more like ground level decision makers. So they know that, hey, this is somebody that knows technology. This is somebody that's worth talking to get that word of mouth going. And then on the other side, it's to get people that are in the business, that are developers that are interested in growing themselves, to say, hey, this is an interesting person to talk to, get them involved in some of the other things that we do, mentoring and stuff like that. So then we have it's almost like it's not quite, but it's sort of like a pipeline of people to draw from to say, hey, you're the kind of person I want to work with, that my customers want to work with. So let's see what we can do to move that forward as well.
Good stuff. I'm curious. Do you get clients through the podcast then?
I've had a few that have said that's one of the ways that they've sort of, I guess, for lack of a better term, vetted me. They would find stuff. You find people on the web, you get some word of mouth, and they're like, oh, hey, this is a episode that's got something to do with my line of business or what my problems are. And so it gives them sort of like an introductory interview in a sense.
I wanted to also ask you, we're recording this toward the beginning of 23. And I'm curious if there's one or two pieces of technology that most businesses should be using that you've seen lately that maybe we haven't heard of.
Wow. In a general sense, it's really tougher to say. I guess on a general sense, I would say keep it really general would be cloud type technology. There is, in the world of everybody sees the buzzword of cloud, but behind that, software as a service and a lot of these cloud providers allow businesses to do very high-end stuff without that high-end upfront cost. So they're able to actually get in software as a service, and that are ways to sometimes get in almost nothing. And sometimes actually, I guess there are free tiers even that businesses can take advantage of that allows them to utilize technology to do things that before they thought, well, that's too, that I'm not going to be big enough for that. That isn't something that's going to help me out. And then probably a second one that I think is people are starting to learn to use, but I think it's a lot of businesses could find better ways to leverage it, are basically like task and communication tools along the lines of like your Asanas and Jira and things like that. Because especially now when we've got so many people that are remote, it's important to have those tools that allow you to come back together and see what's going on and have everybody on the same page.
One of the questions that the listener probably is thinking, because they have either been going for maybe like 2 years or less, or they're about to launch. But here's the thing, they're listening to you and you've got like 600 plus episodes. And that's just sounds overwhelming. Like 600 episodes, when are you going to quit? I think you're doing like 2 episodes a week now. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah. Was it always like that?
I started 3 a week and then actually adjusted it back.
Okay. And so I'm thinking like the listeners probably just curious, like, don't you run out of content? Are you repeating things? Should we repeat things? Are you stressed coming up with new episodes after 600? Kind of give us the thoughts and feelings that you're getting as you've approached and passed 600 episodes, because I think that'll help us as we're trying to put out content over the next few years to make sure that we are on point and skip any of the bad parts or go straight to the good.